everybody. This is part 2 of my video. I just want to talk a little bit more about what I've learned at CrossFit. So one of the things that I didn't know before was that when you walk in to do your workout, there's going to be a whiteboard with what the workout is. Now, I mentioned before, the workout goes up at 10 p.m. the day before. So you can actually look at the workout to make sure you know what you're doing. You can look up a few exercises, prepare yourself mentally for what you're getting into the next day. But then once you get there, it's on the whiteboard. And then we go through it as a group. So you would go through the warm-up together, and everything's listed on the whiteboard. Now, the first time I saw the whiteboard, I was like, I don't know what any of that is. There's a lot of abbreviations and CrossFit jargon. So like you're gonna learn a lot of new words and like abbreviations and stuff like that. But once you start to know them, you can actually, like if you don't know one before or you haven't seen an abbreviation before, you can almost like guess at it and like you're more than likely right.
Here are some of the CrossFit abbreviations and jargon. So the gym is actually called the box. The next thing on the list is AMRAP. So AMRAP just means as many reps as possible. So you're given a span of time to do the workout, and you just keep going until the timer goes, and that's when you're done the workout. The next thing is EMOM. So EMOM, that just means every minute on the minute. So every time the minute goes, you are doing an exercise. That would look like when the minute goes, you're doing skipping for 30 seconds, and then you rest for the rest of the 30 seconds. But then when the next minute goes, you do 5 deadlifts. And then that repeats. So you would finish your deadlifts, you rest until the minute goes, you do your skipping again. Once you're done your skipping, you repeat the deadlifts. The next thing on the list is T2B. So that's something you would see on the whiteboard. So you would see T2B 15. So that just means toes to bar. So what you're actually doing is you're hanging onto the bar and you're bringing your toes up to the bar. Again, like I said before, we do modifications. So if you can't bring your toes to the bar, you would do knees to elbows, or even just try and get your legs up as high as you can. Pretty much every movement has some sort of modification or change that you can make so that it's easier for you, so that you can accomplish the goal. The next thing on the list there is HSPU, so it's just an abbreviation for handstand push-ups.
I've learned lots of different movements. I didn't know there was a million different ways you can press a weight over your head. There's lots of different ways that we press a bar or dumbbells or kettlebells, whatever. A lot of times you're holding the weight over top of your head. I also didn't know that my grip strength was going to increase so much because you're constantly holding onto a dumbbell or a bar or like hanging onto the bar. Your forearms for the first week are going to be fried. Right now, I'm working on my handstand push-ups in like getting that kipping motion and being more efficient with the kipping and being like comfortable upside down. So that's one thing that I'm working on right now. I'm also working on my kipping pull-ups. So I'm working up to doing a muscle up, but I have to work on my kipping pull-ups and trying to get the bar lower and lower on my chest so that I can get up on top. Part of my personality is that I want to go full throttle all the time. Once I learn something, I'm like, okay, let's go, let's load up the weight. I've learned that that's a good way to get an injury. So I have learned that you're not going to know everything all the time or right away, and it actually takes a really long time to get the moves because CrossFit moves are so technical. So you have to practice them and you have to learn them at a slow pace, and there are other people who have been there for years. I've been there for 3 months and I'm like trying to do what they're doing. So everything's gonna take time. I still look up things before I go into the gym or into the box. I still look up what does this movement look like. I still watch videos about that. I'm still learning. And I think that it's gonna take a long time before I actually know everything. And a lot of times we do things one day and then we don't do it for another couple of months. And so you kind of forget. You're like, oh, what is that movement? I'm not sure what that is. So it's okay to look those things up before you go into the gym, but we're going to go over it once we get to the gym anyways. I still ask a lot of questions. Even like during the warm up or like when we're going over the whiteboard, I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, and there's different ways to explain it, so we'll just go over it differently or whatever. The coaches make sure you know what you're doing before you start doing it. I'm still awkward at a lot of movements. So the other day we did push jerk, and like for whatever reason I couldn't get the movements. Like you gotta drop down and like press up and then drop down again and then press up again and then stand up. I don't know. Anyways, it was super awkward. And I kept like asking, like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, can you watch? Like, just make sure I'm doing it properly. Like, and then everyone else or like lots of other people are getting it or they've done it before. So they kept going. And then I was just like practicing with just a bar and then asking the coach, okay, is this it? Like, do I have it now? I also didn't know that there's new people starting all the time. Like, I thought I was going to be the new person for a while and like everybody's going to know like I'm new and blah, 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 whatever. But like really there's new people starting all the time. And the people that have been there, I myself, I'm starting to notice new people now. So like when they come in new, I'm like, hey, I'm Cassie. Like, you're new here. How long have you been here? We just like that sparks up a conversation. And then I'm like kind of looking out for that person too. Like that's just my personality too. I like to take care of other people. But if I see that somebody's new, I'm going out of my way to like introduce myself and make sure that they feel welcome and they know what they're doing, like as they're getting started. So I also learned that it's okay to modify if you need to, or do less weight or do no weight at all. So in my mind, I was like, oh, like I have to put weight on this bar, or like I have to do it as fast as this person, you know, like it's all right if you everybody's different. It's all right if you can't do the move exactly as it's prescribed. Everyone's in a different experience level and strength level, and people have injuries. So you can modify, you can do it with no weight, you can do a completely different exercise. It's really a good variety, and like everybody's forgiving for that reason. Right now, I'm working on handstand walks, muscle up, and I'm building up my strength for all the other movements because I feel like I'm starting to see like movements we've done before. So I'm trying to just master those and then build up my strength for those things and my confidence, really. So I said before that sometimes I try to be a hero and I forget to leave my ego at the door, and that causes injuries. So I have 2 injuries right now. One in my quad, one in my tricep. So here's my vow to myself.
I promise to learn the movements slowly and without weight. I promise to practice the movements on my own at least twice before adding weight. I promise to roll out my quads before every workout and on rest days. I promise to do my maintenance exercises twice a week. I promise I will rest twice a week, and on those rest days I will stretch. I promise to feed my body the fuel it needs and leave my ego at the door.
I hope you liked my video. Let me know if you want to see any CrossFit stuff, like any videos. I can do videos at the gym. Let me know if you want to see what the whiteboard looks like, what the gym looks like. I'm sure Bobby would be open to me doing some videos in there. I'm just really excited about CrossFit. I am actually obsessed. I need to remember that I need to take rest days and just take care of my body. But if you want to come for a workout with me, just let me know. We can do it. Okay, see you soon.